Hello, and welcome back for the final game recap of the year as the New York Islanders lose Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It's Game 6. They lost 2-1. Reverse last game. So, oh boy, what a weird year. And I'll try to save a lot of the bigger picture stuff for another video, for like a season recap video, but I'll start with some of the stuff I got to get out of the way. Tampa Bay was the best team in the East, and they absolutely deserved to be where they have finally gotten themselves back to. 2015, it looked like the beginning of a team that could create a dynasty, and hockey happens, and hockey is really difficult. Especially when you have, teams that can grind you down when you're known as more of a skill team, even though I've said a lot of times in the series that Tampa Bay has evolved past just being a skill team, and they have the goaltending, and they have the good defensemen. Their forwards they have some good two-way forwards. Anthony Cirelli, of course, who scored the game winner in this series and battled after an injury in this game. And can't say the better team didn't win the series. The Isles had their chances to push this to 7, but let's talk about that. Let's get into the recap. So, the Isles coming into this game, a little bit of momentum, and everybody, of course, on Twitter trolling all over Tampa Bay. Islander fan or not, a lot of people trolling Tampa Bay just because they've seen this story before. They've seen Tampa Bay blow big opportunities in the playoffs before. But different Tampa team, a Tampa team that was clinical in its first 2 series and in cleaning up 2 good teams in 5 games, getting some nice revenge for themselves in the Columbus series. That once they won that series and they won it in 5, you had to know that this team had a shot to do what it did. The Isles, battling their way from the qualifiers. People didn't think they were going to beat the Caps, but I did. I thought it was a good matchup for us. Philly was a tough series that we probably were the better team and could have finished that early. And then, we kind of reversed that in this series against Tampa. The Isles were not the better team, but kind of like Philly, who did not outplay the Islanders in that series, they were able to grind out some results to at least make the other team sweat. Much like I am right now, because I can't have the fans on in the basement, at the dungeon, when I'm filming, because you'll hear it. But now you can only hear crickets and my breathing. Anyway, all right, so I'll score first in this one. Devon Toews, a puck put on net from the point, finds its way behind the net. Vasi overcommits to the right, thinking maybe it's still there. And Devon Toews beats him to the far post on a wraparound. A good old wraparound. Don't see a ton of those anymore. 1-0 Isles. And not long after that, Tampa Bay, who had been pushing, who had the shots advantage, who had the better of the play, cash in on what's a frustrating goal after it's all said and done. It's a frustrating goal in the moment, but especially after Varley would go on to make 46 saves. This is a combination goal. Hedman gets the goal. It's shot from the point. The 5 Islanders on the ice are just way too spread out. The whole center, the whole slot area. I did the Italian thing, you see? The whole center of the zone, wide open, and Varley kicks it back out on a shot that wasn't that difficult to stop. He had no screen in front. Needs to be held or at least pushed out to the side. Pushes it right back up the middle. The Isles defenseman, a little bit of sleep, a little bit lackadaisical to get back into position. Can't beat Hedman to it. Hedman has been unbelievable. The Isles were not able to stop some of the better players on Tampa. The Isles were able to neutralize the depth pieces because guys like Blake Coleman and Gaudreau, Cirelli until the end, didn't really factor into the scoring a ton. But the Tampa Bay star power was there. And for the Islanders, the tough thing is that, in the offseason, you're going to have to figure out a way to get that star power because that's the thing that took the Lightning over the top. in this series. And so Tampa Bay scored on that one to tie it at 1. The Isles basically were not in any league close to Tampa after the tying goal. And Varley gave them an opportunity. We killed a lot of penalties. Varley was a gigantic piece of that. The overtime penalty that we had to kill, skipping ahead a little bit, the 4-minute penalty deja vu scenario, this time from Andy Green, Isles' penalty killing was actually fantastic. You know, you had to get a stop or two from Varley there, but Pajot winning faceoffs, Isles getting it away. The only thing that you can regret about tonight, which is the Brock Nelson, well, I guess other than the goal we allowed, Brock Nelson strips the puck in alone, shorthanded, in overtime. And Vasi, I don't know if he was doing it on purpose or not, Vasi was leaving it open to the backhand, and Brock just shot it into him. And that's really the only, offensive thing you can have a regret about other than our power plays. So, and by the way, we got a power play a few minutes later in OT, and it's one of those gift ones, too many men on the ice. The Isles had too many men on the ice earlier in the game before we scored, and it didn't go called. I was saying that might have been some rebalancing for earlier in the play. Obviously not consciously by the hockey gods, but earlier in the playoffs, I think it was against Philly, we only had 4 guys on the ice. It might have been against the Caps. We only had 4 guys on the ice, and we got called for too many men, and that was hilarious. This time around, we had 7, and they didn't call it. So, I mean, there were a lot of missed calls. The referees, I thought, were not great. The Isles, I recall a big holding non-call on Mayfield. I did see some chatter, a little chatter about the Anders Lee skating into Sorelli. Obviously not with any intent, as Lee is trying to get back on side on that play. But I think the argument that Lee should probably be more aware of his surroundings is fair. And if they called interference, I could understand it. They ended up not doing that. God, it is hot down here. Anyway, the goal that ends up happening after our power play. Let's talk about the power play first. We got our power play, too many men on Tampa, and Barzal gave the puck away 3 different times. We did not adjust with our power play in any of the games of this series. Tampa Bay was able to stack the line, and the Isles, you would a team that dumps and chases a lot. Normally, you would think maybe on a power play where you're a man up and you're already good at retrieving the puck 5-on-5 when you dump it in. Maybe, you have an extra man and it's already one of your strong suits. But the Isles say, no, Barzal take, Barzal skate through everybody, Barzal pass backwards. Well, there's a lot of deflections and giveaways on those Barzal entries. And, so I guess you could say our power play comes back to bite us one final time into the night. The goal, Sorelli pots himself in front of the net. Puck is behind the net. What can you say other than it got thrown out in front? And I think Dobson was there. And it's not Dobson's fault. Dobson had a scary sequence where he let Blake Coleman walk in and get a uncontested backhand on Varley from way in tight, and then also had given the puck away a little bit after that. He had a couple of rough shifts there, but all told, he didn't lose us the game. He gained some valuable playoff experience, which is one of those things that you say after you've lost and you've got to recoup something. No Pellich tonight. Definitely hurt, but it was a team effort giving up around 50 shots, so there's that. The goal, Sorelli is able to get a little bit on it, post across the line off Varley and in, which is just not fair to Varley, because Varley was the only reason that this game went as long as it did, and it sucks. Luckily Varley couldn't have really done anything about it. If it was a tough one for Varley, that would have been really difficult because he's the only reason we were there. He gave the Islanders the opportunity to not play great or good, let alone great, for 2 periods and still stay in the game. So Varley was the MVP for the Islanders tonight. And I don't know, you just in the offseason, you're looking for a little bit more star power. And, Beauvillier had a really good first part of the playoffs and then kind of struggled after that. And I don't know, maybe we get Beau in the top 6 next year full time. And then come playoff time, he'll be better adjusted. I don't know. It seems like I'm looking for something, but Beau kind of disappeared, and I don't want to blame Beau because our whole thing for a lot of the recaps was that I love Beau unconditionally, but Beau still a good forechecker even when he's not scoring, but would have liked to see a little bit more offense. But hey, Tampa Bay was able to key in on a few players, and obviously the Isles physical players had a better series against Tampa. Martin played really, really well. Clutterbuck played really well. Unfortunately, we missed Zizekas. That was frustrating. But bottom 6 really, really played well, which is great because we pay them a lot, more than most teams. And what are you going to do other than stop talking and end the video right here? Okay, I will do that. But first, a thanks. Thank you to all the people that subscribed and commented and liked and stuff. It was a really, really, really fun experience, especially when I was going through some stuff over the last few weeks with my grandfather passing, and some really kind words from people subscribing, and that meant a lot. That's really the big thing about this run, isn't it? That what a tough year it was. It's been for everybody. I don't really know anybody that I know personally that's had a fantastic year. But they gave us, the Isles, they gave us something to enjoy, something to distract us for a while, something to be proud of for the first time in a while, keeping New York sports going. I mean, the Mets, the Jets, just watch my Jet videos for that. And the Yankees have been better, but the Isles, giving New York a little bit of respect in the playoffs. But that's it. A little bit rambly this time because I just wanted to kind of savor our last review of the year here and give credit to Tampa. Talk about what I am thankful for with you guys and gals. I've seen a really good ratio of guys and gals, considering it's a hockey channel, and hockey is a very bravado-driven sport, and it's nice to have everybody here. But that's the video. I do want to do a season recap, so this isn't a full goodbye to the Islanders stuff for now. The Jets will keep me fuming, so there is that. That's going to be fun. Because the Islanders require nuance. I think I said this in the last video. The Islanders require nuance because they're actually a decent team, and you have to talk about the nitty-gritty of each of their games. The Jets are just terrible, and it's not hyperbolic to get on them in the way that I do. So that is the video. That is the season. We'll see you for the season wrap-up and Jets stuff. So channel will still be here. But like and subscribe, please, and we'll see you next time on Belmont Bunch. Bye.